Alright guys, welcome back to Tiger Woods '09. And let's go ahead and start off with TED or TED Shanghai International. It's a match play. Yeah, we're going to skip the events. Hopefully we can get the 4 rounds done and get the challenge done for this, and the next video will be the last in '09. Might be a bit of a longer video, but it'd be nice to get it done. Oh, Tiger Woods. He's the first person we play in the match play? And he hits an iron off the tee and doesn't even make it to the fairway. Okay. So weird. We haven't played Tiger yet at all, so. Man, I hate how bright the grass is on this one. It's going to be hard to read the greens. Yeah. Tough to read them. Yeah. I knew it was breaking left, but I could not see how much. But win the hole. So weird how they started that off. Only 115. Oh, okay. Probably better that way. Alright. Go with that. Ooh. I see that yellow. Don't be starting that now. Only 102, dang it. Tried to get like 110 or something. What the hell? Tiger has doubled the first, bogeyed the second one. Weird. Weird stuff is happening. I've went right. It's doing the thing where I gotta pull the stick back incredibly far left again, so. We'll probably have to do it for most of this match at least, but then we should, it should be fixed by the next one. 'Cause that's how it usually works. Ooh. I wasn't sure because it was 65%, and the pitches, like, you all know, they're a little wonky. Oh, wow, that went insane distance past the hole. And of course I had that little right thing, which is why that missed, so we'll probably lose this hole. Yep. Again, that first putt, it makes no sense that it went that far past. It was 3 inches uphill, and 100% was going to get me only like 2 feet past the hole. But I went like 5 foot past the hole And that 100%, by the way, should have only been... This is 90. Man, that right thing is just... That still went a little bit right. And I brought that back almost dead left. Look at that, again. The yellow marker appeared really quickly on the right, and I, again, just pulled it way left. Loft wedge. Needed it at about 90%, I think. Says close to straight in. Yep. That one wasn't bad. Makes me have to actually make this to win. Oh, we did. Yeah, I went to the range today. I didn't play, but it's pretty hot, and we were hitting off of the mats and stuff, not the actual ground. Because it was pretty... It had rained on Friday really bad, so they're, letting it dry out or whatever. And I want to say it's probably low 80s when I get there, and it got up to about the mid 80s probably by the time I left. But the sun is on you the whole time. And there was an older guy next to me, and he started talking to me, which I don't mind. And he was hitting off the mats, or whatever the fake grass is, whatever you call that. He was hitting off it barefoot, and at one point he's just like, "Man, I didn't expect these things to be so hot." I was like, "Yeah, well, they're in the sun constantly, and you're barefoot, so..." I couldn't imagine playing without golf shoes on. I would just slide everywhere because of how fast I swing it. Okay, thank God that wasn't a... Who was it? Jim Furyk? Who hit it in the water, or just it only went like 10 yards, like 10 times. Oh my God. 104 power, and it's 10 yards short somehow. With no wind in our face, by the way. It's just going to the right. It's a tiny bit in the face, but no wind you have to worry about. But towards the end of the me being at the range, a younger guy came up, and this dude's probably 6.5 foot tall. He's a big dude, but skinny. And he's like a foot taller than me. So I'm just like, good God. And he starts hitting right off the bat. He only has a few clubs he's hitting, and they're longer clubs, probably like a 5, a 4-iron, a hybrid, and his driver. And he hits them, and he has that type of shot that starts off low and then rises. So, but he hit them so high that his hybrid, I was hitting my 4 or 5-iron further than his hybrid by like 20 or 30 yards because they just soared in the air and just kind of fell down, you know. I told him, I was like, you hit it higher than anyone I have ever seen. And one of the dudes that I played with in the tournament, he hit it really high as well. I just don't know how. I can hit everything but my 5-iron and my 3 hybrid. I can hit those, you know, the proper height. 5-iron, I get a little bit low. And same with the 3 hybrid. But everything else I can hit with a fairly normal height. And, well, there's a fence in the back, and he asked me, how far is the fence? And it's 250. His driver was carrying over that fence, but only by a few yards. So he was probably carrying it 155 or 250. Sorry, 255 or 260. But you know, it's with his height, it's just gonna stop dead. You know, he's not gonna get any roll. So, like, I might carry it only 240. But it's going to roll out 260, 270, where he'll carry it 260, but it's going to stop right there, you know. And man, I tell you what, the way he hit the ball, because he was so big, or so tall, I should say. If he stopped hitting it as high as he does and got control on where he was hitting it, because he would kind of lift up a little bit. And so he ended up topping, I want to say, 1/3 of the shots. What the hell? He went the opposite. I don't know. He could probably get his driver to 300 and his irons an insane distance. What in the hell? That's going to be the shot limit. Shot 10. This is the last shot he can hit. Guess unless it's a par 5. Oh, no, 6 over. Okay. But, I went there and I grabbed 2 large buckets. And I always start just with my wedges. You know, just little 50-yard, 75-yard, then a full loft wedge. Then I grab my sand wedge, you know, choke down about 100 yard, 90 to 100, then a full sand wedge, then gap wedge, same thing, choke down about 125, 130, then a full one about 140. Then I go on to my other clubs. And I was working on my draw, trying to get a cut out of it, still can't do that. With any of my irons. Still can't with my driver. I can get a great one with the driver. But I really can't draw it properly, so. But I was working on, who we got here? Chris DeMarco. I was working on, and him again, that iron. I barely reached the fairway. I was working on speeding up my hip rotation, but also having my, my arms and my hands keep up with it. So that you don't pull it or just hook it left. And after a couple of shots trying it out, started getting really good at it. And doing that is helping me get more height on the ball, because I'm pretty good at hitting just a low bullet with every club. My 3 hybrid, 5, 6, 7, 8, even my 9 iron, I can just hit that low bullet right to the green. And but if you're going straight uphill on the hole, or you just want it to stop, you don't want that thing to run out, you need to hit a little higher. And doing that was helping me get the height I needed, but also helping me actually get distance. Don't technically need any more distance with my irons, but hey, I'll take all that I can get. So by the end, oh man, I really thought that was going to carry a lot more. By the end of the range session, I was carrying my 7 iron almost 200 yards. Which, off the tee, I can get it to about 190, 180 something. I would say 185 off the tee. But it's always pretty, kind of low. But I was carrying it a good ways. And a 6 iron I was carrying about 200 consistently. Now the 5 iron, I still don't have quite the height. I'll still work on that as I go along. But that one with run is going probably about 215, 220, I think. And my 3 hybrid, I'm getting it to 230, 240 on average. When you hit that good. And it's funny because I'm not really carrying my driver even 250. Which I absolutely can't stand, that I can get all these other clubs. I get my 7 iron, 190. I get my 3 hybrid to 230, 240, but I cannot carry my driver even 260 on average, Don't know what it is. But I'm gonna keep working on it. But I was happy with what I was doing on the range. Ooh, I think that almost went in. Carried a good distance. I cannot see what it's doing. Okay, it's straight. Let's say I was working on, perfecting kind of the draw and making sure alright, I only want to start this about 10, 15 yards out to the right and draw it into that, draw it in towards the 150 to 200 yard marker. Somewhere in between there. Work on how far I need to aim my feet and my club in order to do that. How far I need to go in and out with my swing plane. And I tell you what, I was hitting them on the number. I mean, it was starting out 10, 15 yards right, landing right there at the marker or just to the right of it, and then 84, I need 90. Bouncing towards it, you know. Oh man, that thing broke a ton. But all in all, really happy with how I'm hitting my irons and my hybrid. And again, I'm hitting my drive. I mean, I can take that driver and get the fairway every single time. But, you know, it's only going to be 10, 20 yards shorter than my 3 hybrid. Which is just odd to me. And it could be, you know, it's still fairly new to me. I've really only used it for a few months. And I just need to still work on my speed with it, because I think, you know, it's an extra stiff shaft. The other shafts are stiff. So I think I need to get my speed a little better with the driver, because I think I actually swing it a little bit slower with my driver than I do with my irons. I know it's kind of weird. Oh man, I don't know what I was thinking there. I wasn't. That's what it was. But again, I think that's because of the way I swing the driver. Where I pull out of it as, oh, you know, on my downswing. But again, I can hit a perfect cut, and I can get it middle of the fairway every time doing that. So do I want to, you know, do what I did last year and try to take that out of my swing and gain more distance, but risk screwing up my driver swing again and having to get that, you know, back on track? Because I tried to fix that last year, and it absolutely ruined my driving. But I think that's because my driver was too big for me. Maybe if I tried it with this shorter one, I could do it. I just need a whole range session to figure that out. Wow. How does that stay up there? Let's get you. Ooh. Reminded me of the one hole I played at the tournament, but I made the one back in the tournament. Same here. Oh yeah, I made the fairway last time, but wind into us. Nah. If I hit the cart path, I probably could have. And it started to get pretty hot. You know, you're just kind of standing in the sun when you're practicing like that, so I decided not to go onto the putting green. I'll do that I'll go to the range and practice putting on Friday. Today's Sunday. When I go to work for the 4 days. And then I'll play on Sunday because the next week we have the tournament on Saturday. And I'll probably play Friday as well. To try to get my putting on track and try to get my yardages down for everything on my irons. You know, I don't want to go in there and it's like, well, it's 185. You know, that should be a smooth 7. I hit a 7 and it flies the green, 15 yards. Ooh, great putt. A lot of the times this year, that's what's been hurting me. Wow, that... Can't believe that broke that much. You know, it's been like, I gained a lot of distance with my irons, but I really haven't dialed them down to what I can exactly hit them. And, there's one hole. It's the 6. It's par 4 right after par 5. I have to... Why is it aiming me right there? I have to hit my 5-iron because it doglegs hard right. Now, if I could cut a driver like 40 yards or 50 yards, I could hit my driver, which I might try the next 2 times I play, just to see if I can do it. But I'll hit a 5-iron down there to about 210, 215. And then I'll have about 155. Sometimes 160 if I don't hit the 5-iron perfect. And so let's say I have 160. I will, and it's uphill. So I'll say 165. I'm like, okay, this should be a nice, smooth, full 9. But I'll hit it. And even if I don't hit it great, it lands on the back portion of the green and jumps into the rough in the back. And I end up having to, chip it only by like a few yards, because if the pin's in the back, it's only a few paces until it's off the green. So, when you're chipping and stuff, you don't want to be in the rough and be like, okay, I can only land this a yard after I hit it, because you can duff it really easy, or you can hit it good and have it, go 20 feet past the hole, and you really don't want that. And then you're left thinking, I'm not going. Or I'm left thinking, another iron. What? Did I really just fly a 9-iron, like 170 something? I can't do that. What happened? And so... dialing down your yardages is like that, when you dial them in like that. But no, getting your yardages straight is super, super important. Because a lot of times you're thinking, I'm just going for the middle of the green. And that's fine. But what if, you're able to hit it just 5 more yards than you think? It hits the middle, or maybe a little bit further than that, and then has that in the water. and then, it just bounces on into the rough. Well, now, you may have hit a great shot, but you're punished for it, because you weren't quite sure what your yardages are. But that's also when you can start really playing around with different types of shots. Like, the 16th we have, the par 3, it's 194 yards, but it's downhill. So you're taking off probably, you're probably playing it as a 185, 188, something around there, depending on where the pin is, And if the pin's in the back, which it has been the last few times I've played, it probably plays close to, if not what the yardage is. And so what I'll do is take my 7-iron. I'll choke down on it. I'll aim probably close to ten-yard right. And hit a little, not a stinger, but a lower kind of 3/4 shot. And draw it in there, and it'll hit the right side of the green. And then it just kind of curls into the middle. And so when you really know your yardages, or at least you've played that hole enough to know, well, for me, a full 7-iron, I'm going just over the green. And so, 8-iron's not going to get me to the back. I know that. But this full 7 is definitely too much. So let me try this shot out, It's kind of the same thing for the third hole. It's a shorter par 3. It's about 160, but again, it's downhill, so it's only playing about 155, maybe a little less than that. And so, middle of the green at 155, I can hit a full pitching wedge. Front of the green, I can choke down and hit a nice choke down and either hit a full choke down wedge or hit just like a 3/4 full wedge. And it's only what, 145, 148 to the front, and then to the back it's 160 something. So I'll usually choke down on my 9-iron and hit that little low 3/4 shot. That I like to play. Didn't really need any of the spin, I don't think. But then you see on both of those holes, it can get me in trouble because I'll be thinking about the distance and how I'm going to hit to that distance, and I won't think I have a natural draw to my swing. So I need to aim 10 or 15 yards to the right in order to hit this. Oh, leveled up. But we don't have any more. We're maxed out. To hit it to the middle of the green. So, I'm so focused on the distance that I'm not focused on any of the other stuff. And so, the first day of the tournament, on the 16th one, the longer par 3, I'm aiming to the middle. And it draws into the woods, and it's a lateral hazard down there. So I'm like, you know what? It's lateral. I don't need to hit a provisional. And, I found my ball in crazier spots. I'm like, I can find this thing. So I'm looking, and I find it. It is, wow, really? There was one little bead going to the left very slowly, so I moved it to touch right, of course. I found it it's at least 15 foot below the hole. Trees everywhere. And I'm like, alright, I'm gonna try to hit this out. And I got it out. Now I could have dropped and had a better score, but we won't talk about that. But then, 2 days prior, I played a practice round. And I played my draw. I did my choke down, low 7. And I got it within 8 foot of the hole, It's just so much. You don't want to overthink your shots, but it's so much to think about. Wow. I was so worried about being short, I didn't even think about going long. It's so much to take into account. The type of shot you can hit, what you have to hit to, get it there. And oh wow, I thought that was flying near the hole. That was bad. Can we get it to the fairway this time? Maybe. Yes, we can. I'll say at least he didn't do what a lot of them do and hit into the bush that was right in front of him and take 6 shots from there. But it's funny though, I can actually hit my driver better than my 3 hybrid. Because for some reason, even on the range, I was hitting my 3 hybrid excellent. I really didn't have. Well, when I started trying to draw it, I started hitting sort of bad shots. But when I just tried to hit a straight, I didn't really have a miss hit. Sometimes they were a little bit right, 10 yards or something, but not bad at all. But right now, that's the club where you can catch me, oh wow, good God, that needs some spin. You can catch me thinning the 3 hybrid. When it's really crucial not to. Just because, when you're in that moment that, okay, it's 230 to the hole, I need to carry this at least 200 or 180 over the water. You know, that's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about, you know, how to swing the club properly and don't overdo it and stuff like that. That's when you thin it or almost top it like I did in the tournament. But I still have to say that one was a big reason because we were waiting so long. Alright, final day, who was it? JB Holmes again. And fourth person to use an iron off this tee. And only one of the four, and I think the one was Chris DeMarco. I think he was the only one to get into the fairway. An odd yardage. Weird. I was say I did not want that much. I should have putted it, but I could not tell what those lines were doing. I mean, I know it was going left, but oh, made his bogey. Means we have to make this. And again, I can tell it's going left, but I don't think it's going that much. Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what though, if I could draw my driver in 3 hybrid properly, instead of kind of getting lucky with them, man. I think, because we have a par 5, where, I try to get like 1 of 5 power, but on the first par 5 we have, if you can draw your driver, you can get it to probably only 210, 220 to the hole, because you hit a downslope. I see. I couldn't tell which way it was going, and it looked like from the way my character was standing that it was going to the right. Would have won the hole. Even right now, I'll use my 3 hybrid and just kind of hit it straight, and it'll get to about 260 to the hole. But because at the moment, I don't have a wood in the bag, you know, I can't make it there, no matter what. But if I could draw my driver, you know, carry it a little further into the air, hit the downslope, have it run, then I could probably use a 7 or a 6 iron, just to get it right there at the green, at the front of the green. Man, I guess that worked out okay. And then there's the 17th, which is a shorter par 4. It's like 357 yards or something like that. But you have trees kind of hugging the left side of the fairway. And at about 230, 240, if you can start to get it to draw, you know, you would have... God, I think I'd have... that's too much. Maybe not? Yeah, that's too much. I'd probably have like a sand wedge, like 110 or less into that hole. because that one's straight uphill as well. But at the moment, I'll hit my driver and I can get lucky and start it just left enough to hug that tree line and be about the middle of the fairway. But you know, you don't want to rely on that, because if it's just another foot or two left, it's hitting those limbs and you don't know if it's gonna, you know, get through. So what normally happens on that hole is you start at middle of the fairway and it'll fade off to the right and end up in the right rough. But then if you're far enough up, there's a tree in the way and you have to either punch under that or hit a cut, which I can't do with my irons, especially a low iron, because all I would need is like a gap wedge. I think those are the only 2 holes on the course that require a draw, but you can get away with just hitting like just a straight shot down to about, you know, like I said, if I can hit my 3 hybrid on the par 5, just hit it straight, you know, catch the slope and go down to, you know, 250, and then I'll have 260 to go. And then the par 4, I said again, I can go down to my 3 hybrid, and if I can get it to 230, I still only have a gap wedge in, you know, so they're not really big deals. We do have one hole that almost requires you to hit a cut in order to get the best possible outcome. I'm not talking about the 6 hole where it doglegs 50, you know, it's almost a 90-degree dogleg to the right once you hit about 220. I knew that was gonna do that, but I have no, you know, 4 over. You know, he got a 7. This hole is, what is it? 14, I think. Hole 14, at about 240 yards, I think it is. It is an incredibly steep downhill dogleg right, and if you don't carry it at least 240, then you're not gonna hit that slope, and you'll get carried to about 330 yards, and then you'll just have 110 in, because it's 440 yard par 4. But because of that downhill, you know, if you can catch that slope, it gets really short. But if you don't catch it, then you'll stay at the top, or you'll be on that slope, and you don't want that, because good God, that is a steep downhill slope you're hitting off of. And if I'm usually on it, it's usually a wedge anyway. And I usually, if I don't hit it fat, I catch it thin. I'm not good at hitting off of that steep of a downhill slope. What sucks, because the first par 5 and that hole, that par 4, you're more than likely going to be on a pretty severe downhill slope. And so on that par 5, what I usually end up doing, I'll hit my 3 hybrid, and then I'll hit like a 7 iron, you know, and have just about like 90 yards left. Something like that. just because it's hard to hit the 5 or the 3 hybrid, off that downhill slope. So take a club you know you can hit off of it. You'll give yourself a good yardage, and to me 90 yards is a great yardage because I can choke down and just hit a nice full pitch with my sand wedge. Man, it's crazy. I haven't gone further than what, the 11th or 12th hole in these matches, but we're already over 50 minutes. Not what I want. So what I'll probably do, it'll just be this tournament. In the next video, we'll just do all of the rest of the challenges. It's 4, but 2 of them are stroke play, and 2 of them... That was a great putt. 2 of them are match play. Because if I can win this next hole, it should be over. Okay. Wound up decent. I wanted like 95%. Oh, he's safe for the win. Now I have to make sure he misses. Of course he doesn't. Been playing horribly. I mean, actually he's played better out of everybody, but... Again, aiming you... Wow. Aiming you basically an OB. Which is... It must be like... They coded it wrong for it to aim you over there and just never found out and fixed it. Oh my god, man. I mean, you had a clear shot. There was no tree in your way at all, and you hit it right there. Well, at least we know we're gonna win this one. Even if I do that. I want to get like 75 or 80. Oh, 85% still flew. A hundo. Come on. Nine up. Alright, we won it. Yay. Alright. So when we come back, we'll be doing Justin Rose challenge. And again, that one's stroke play, right? Yeah, unfortunately. But then we have JB Holmes, which is match play. Again, it's probably 18 holes. And then match play for Adam Scott. So again, 18 holes. I'm going to try to get all this done in one video, because then we have Tiger Woods stroke play. Which is going to be a long one if I do. So hope you guys are enjoying it, though. Have a great day, and I'll see ya in what's could be the last 2009 video. So.